This topic is very different. I'm not talking about extinctions in a broad sense. I'm talking about one specific phenomenon within the topic of extinction, one particular way that a very strong contributing factor is involved, and in this case, the contributing factor is natural selection itself. In precisely the opposite way that it's popularly presented. It's also a very good teaching device because if students can understand this and explain it, then it means they really, really, really understand selection. So let's take a look. And also point out this is well studied in endangered species where it's actually, unfortunately, pretty common. We have a situation in which a population, let's say the last population of a given species, it's already very rare, certainly in the endangered category in political terms. So we have this creature whose population is decreasing due to identifiable external factors. It may be a chemical feature of the environment. It may be a particular sort of predator which has been introduced and is assailing the population. Whatever you might want to identify. So here's this population, and its numbers are decreasing, nibbled away externally, generation after generation. Now let's remember exactly how selection works. If there is an inheritable factor which results in higher reproductive success compared to other members of your cohort, your own generation, then that inheritable feature becomes more common. In the context of a diminishing population, generation by generation, having offspring later than your cohort actually means higher reproductive success because you, at the moment, in this population, nibbled away generation after generation by these external factors. Remember how selection works. If there is an inheritable feature which contributes to higher reproductive success than the other members of your cohort, the members of your generation, at that time, then it becomes more common. If the population is consistently getting smaller generation by generation, then delaying reproducing generates higher reproductive success because at the moment of reproduction, you are contributing per offspring a higher percentage of the available genetic information than the other members of your cohort. It's a mathematical death trap because each generation having offspring later is being selected for. Therefore, you end up with creatures who actually run out of life before they reproduce and have a very low birth rate across the whole population. Therefore, the population reduction becomes intrinsic as well as extrinsic, and the population numbers, of course, nosedive immediately.